Today we're looking at the 2019 World Cup Men's Open Grand Final.
Oh, how about that? It's even better.
Count of the man, count of the hour.
That is sensational.
2019 World Cup. I believe this one was played in Malaysia. And New Zealand are with the ball, versing Australia in the yellow. So we've got a switch, counter switch. Very, very New Zealand style, this play. It's something that New Zealand are very good at. It's late switches and it's twisting your body position, and it's a style that they're very well known for. So we have a sweeper, and the idea is to have this player here. I'll get my pen out. To have this player pull corner. That's what we're programmed to do. They're then going to run a switch and hope that that defender's body is going to change back to the open side. Okay, so they're going to twist him and shape him back up, facing forward. They're then going to angle back this way. So it's basically he's pulling corner, but they're basically getting him to prop and then start again. And then they will have someone come back underneath to go against the grain again. So it's all about manipulating that defense to doing what you want. So the winger actually comes underneath, and you can see Australia here are super tight. Because they've angled that sweeper to the short side, everyone's coming in to cover. And this winger's come out of the shadows because that's not the person that you would normally find on a late switch. And we have the number 3 running a hole here, 11 keeping width, and it's not the greatest pass. No, it is. That one's not the greatest pass. Okay, so Australia did good to recover there. But yeah, it's just a nice little, cool, fun to watch play that that New Zealand run off the tap off. Australia here, 4-on-3 platform. Not sure what's going on here. Here's a play. 4-on-3 rooster. Back to the short side, nice tap on. Now, I'm going to talk about defence here at the point of view from Australians. Defensive policies in New Zealand can be very different. So what they might have done here is exactly what they've trained for, and it's exactly how the way they play. But as an Australian, that's the way I'm going to talk about. So as far as attack goes, middle's fading for link, and they've run a rooster play. So first receiver is going to be attacking the ball here, running at the offside player. Whichever way he goes, getting onside, attacker will go the other way. Now, job as a defender will be pull corner. Okay? The body position here is facing forward, which means you're backpedaling, which is very dangerous because when you're backpedaling straight, it's hard to then move either side. So you can't exactly defend anything to your left or right. You can really only defend if they run at you and it's within reach. So they should be, yes, pulling towards this arrow and going corner while everyone else steps forward and helps shut down. Now, because of this, the angle's going this way from those defense, and this link is super tight. Okay, they're obviously thinking that this ball player here is just going to be trying to throw long left to right. But in seeing that, he steps and sees that that link is way too tight. And so he passes to his link. The winger gets a good read on this, on the left, comes in, and it's just a nice tip on. So when we're on the short side, we don't need to be that close. And if we are that close, we need to be off the line. Okay, so that link there is just held on the line too long. We need to be probably a little bit more further forward. But yeah, don't understand why he's so far in. But yeah, first try to Australia. Oh, this just gives us a second angle. You can see actually how close he is there. Nice try. So that's actually a good talking point. That's the halftime score is 1-0. That's a 20-minute half of only one try, so that's pretty extraordinary but it just shows the high quality. And now the clock says we're almost half an hour in, and now we've got our second try of the game from New Zealand. Nice, just a simple 4-on-3 platform. Now in New Zealand they call this a 32. The way that they use their numbers is it's 1 for the wingers, 2 for the links, 3 for the middles. So if you call it a 32, it means you are doing a ruck that involves a middle and a link, 3 and a 2. We just call this a 4-on-3 because when you pick up, that's likely what you're going to get. But they call it a 32 scoot, which does make a lot of sense. It is good to know this. So we have number 7 running a hole here. No, running this hole here. 3's running the next hole. Wingers keeping the width. Australia, very wide. Look at the gap between these two defenders. Okay, too wide. They need to be, rather than being wide and moving in, they need to be tight moving forward. This just allows them to run a little bit more, and the holes become bigger because they're moving inwards, not forwards. And he just picks the long pass. Very nice pass, very nice outline. The winger was that close to making the touch. So a very nice pass. I'll go through the J line actually with a winger. So it's subtle, this line that the winger's running. It's just a lot of times I can't talk through it because the wingers aren't in screen. Now, the winger's running nice and tight. And as soon as they release that pass, the winger then moves his angle. Okay, because with the winger being tight, it means the opposing winger is also very tight. Okay, and when you angle outwards like that, it usually goes unnoticed. So by the time the defensive winger turns around, you're already moving on the out. Very subtle, very effective. J line, because of the shape of a J. It's got a curve in it. Yeah, nice. What do we got here? Middle. Just a middle, 4 and 3. Passive out the back. Alright, so they've got a passive line. They almost defended it, actually, pretty well. So it's a middle, which means he steps in, outside the other middle, straightens up, thus allowing the dummy half to attack the offside defender, which is what happens here. Runs. The guy is backpedaling, but he's backpedaling in an angle towards the short side, so not ideal. The link actually isn't really tight this time, probably a good thing. Not ideal, but it's the way they're doing it. And in my opinion, I think he's actually left this pass a little too late. He's thrown this pass a little early. I think he could have dug into the line a little bit. Because with the gap here, with the defender and attacker, gives this guy just a little bit of extra time to see what's coming. So he throws out the back, and he's able to just chase out. I know they score the try, but if he digs into the line a little bit more, it just means that this defender here, he must stay put, because this guy's screaming into a hole. He has to stay there because he needs to shut that down. But because he throws the ball early, now he's already released off. But the wingers just probably needs to just hear some talk from the link then saying like, go out, I've got this, and get him to release earlier, because the winger just sort of holds his ground too long, and Australia get the try there. So it's a nice passive ball. I just think with a passive, you're throwing out the back, you're not really at risk of anything, you can really run into that line. This is a bit of a weird try here. I'm including it because it's a try, and I do all tries, but New Zealand had a penalty. And the referees are swapping, and he just takes a quick tap. Now the referees have a discussion and end up allowing this try. However, there's a couple of things wrong. The referee awards a penalty there, and the referees are swapping, so actually there's a change of command on who's in charge of this game. This player's way offside. You cannot take a penalty tap or a tap off with a player in front of you. But he's done that, and the referees have just turned around and awarded the try. If that was me, I would have said, no, you need to go back, we haven't given you the mark yet, or we're not ready, or you've got a player in front. There's just too many things that were going wrong for them to award this try. Oh, I've fast forwarded too much. Another ML. An ML passive. Shallow passive, but it's still a passive. So we went through the ML play before. It's a middle link. So it's a middles in the ruck with a link running forward. Short side rooster is an ML. So the dummy half's going to wrap around, and the number 6 here, the guy running onto the ball, is going to attack the offside defender. This is good body shape from New Zealand. Okay, he's got his arm out ready to protect his short side, which is what he's doing. Okay, so because he protects his short side, the angle is back inwards for the 4-on-3. Running into the hole, players out the back, and he runs a little bit further into the line because, as you can see, the defender actually has to commit and stay put because he has to make the touch on the short ball just in case it happens. So it's a lot better here. And the reason that they go deep, the reason they have a link deep running out here is so the winger actually has to get a much earlier read. It's actually a lot harder for the winger to come and shut down. If everyone's flat, if the link's flat here, he just goes bang. But because he's deep, there's actually a lot of space for him to cover. Okay, they weren't overly deep here, but they were still deep enough where that they could catch and throw the pass. But that's why we run passives. It just really keeps that winger away from shutting down that play. at crucial times because wingers are starting to get extremely good reads on play. Australia again, just a simple 4-on-3. Digs into the line. Now this is conditioning as well. Now they've just run 2 passive plays, hitting out the back links. So as a defender, you can't help but think that that's going to happen another time. So we've got the middle playing the ball for the link, and he's just going to pick up and go whichever way this guy doesn't. So he should go corner, which to my knowledge he does. Yep, there's the step. Now we've got a 4-on-3. Now this guy's probably thinking, hey, there's someone out the back here. He's going to throw out the back. But no, he picks this guy running the short option, which is nice conditioning. If they had not have run those 2 passive plays hitting out the back, then they would not have been able to use this short ball. The link would have came in and smashed it. There it is. Yep. Australia up by 2 now. Nice, another little switch. Oh, it's no try, but that's brilliant. There's a couple of things going on in this play where when it doesn't work for New Zealand, they actually adapt quite well to audible and do something different. Now, it looks like they want to run this play called Waikato, which you can YouTube. It's actually got a minute and a half. I think Sports Trend do it. The channel Sports Trend, they go through that move where the dummy half takes off. Now, you can do this on the link or the middle. It doesn't matter. I think they're running the Boris or a muddle style defense, which is fine. Let's just imagine the link made the touch. But again, you can do it with the middle making the touch. They take off together, okay, which looks like it's going to be an inside ball. Okay, this guy would pull corner. It looks like he's pulling corner, and they're just going to throw the pass into the gap. So he turns to cover that, and then this guy would bounce out. Okay, so once you've made the touch, you turn back in to cover the inside ball, but then they hit you back out. There's a little Waikato, very popular in mixed open, but you do see it time and time again in the men's game. However, they realise that that's not on. The 2 Australian players are marked up pretty well. So what do? He takes off this way, and the number 10 comes back for a switch, because when you're man on, a switch is the best play. So there's man on, there's a late switch. The link does get in a good position there, except that it was just a nice pass to beat him. But the winger gets up as well and just Superman dives and knocks the ball down. If you're going to Superman dive, I do recommend you having one arm making the touch, one arm smashing the ball. That's pretty much any time you want to do a bat down. Make sure you have a bit of insurance there and you're making the touch as well. But nice D from Australia, saving that try. Here we go again. Another ML play. Oh! Do we award this try? We must, because it goes to 4-on-3. Let's have a look. ML play. I'm not going to go through the start because we've already done that. But defense is getting up. This guy's running the hole. So we try to throw what's called... Is it a sinker ball? No, it's just a bit of a flat ball. A sinker ball is one that's designed to go over the top, but there's no weight on it, so it sinks back down. That's when I say sinker ball. So the defense is probably just probably 2 steps more, and he catches that ball, but it's out in front of him, and he does get a hand to it, but it's what we call channeling defense. He gets up in the line between these guys, and he stops that bullet pass going to the link by being in a position where he can make the catch, and if they throw a short ball, he can then reach and make that touch, or dive and make that touch. So there's a lot of work, and it's all about getting in a really good position. He gets a hand to it, but New Zealand regather the ball and score a try. So you may notice a lot of the tries in the World Cup Men's Open, probably the highest, well, definitely the highest quality game in the world, come from very simple plays. So you don't actually have to be super elaborate with your game styles to win big games. Just practice the simple things and practice them really well. Just do them at speed and nice and direct, and you will win games. Okay, it doesn't look as cool. It may not be as cool saying, "Look, I invented this cool play," but it'll win you a championship, which is what it did for Australia here. Nice and simple, nice and fast. Australia win 4-3. Thanks for watching. We'll have another video out shortly. Bye.